It's definitely not a product I will buy. But I also feel weird ever commenting about Secret Lair stuff because I have never and will never buy a product like that. Just like not something that interests me at all, but I know some people like them, and I also get that WotC needs to make money. You know, when I first saw the Walking Dead cards, my immediate reaction was mostly that I didn't like how photorealistic the cards were. They really like put me off. But I didn't really think about the ramifications of there being mechanically unique cards in a set like Secret Lair. Like that really does, I feel like, have some bad implications for Magic as a game. Yeah, we did 4-1. We did 4-1. Oh, playing against Mill again. Oh, okay, this matchup is so weird. Please don't have a surgical. Okay, well, if they have a surgical, it doesn't matter so much because they didn't mill over an Emrakul with the glimpse. But we played game 1 and they surgicaled our Emrakuls, and it got really weird where we stole a crab with Archmage Charm, and we could have won if we didn't tap our land. They played their... I think we can let that resolve and maybe bounce it with Cryptic if it's going to be a problem, but I'm going to draw 2. Yeah, I don't like crossing over into other franchises either. But I also don't think I hate it, you know? It's like, it's not really something that bothers me all that much, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think that we have 4 Emrakuls in our deck. We're very likely to hit one off of these 10 cards. They don't have a Through the Breach. Cool. Or sorry, a surgical. Whatever we scribe to the top is very likely just going to get milled. Odd Chest gifting 5 subs. That's really, really nice of you. I appreciate it. Welcome to, oh no, Pi Gonti, Wonderfall, Bifront, Gilly 15, and Tuck Ag. Yeah, this stream is brought to you by viewers that are you. Could not do it without you guys. Thank you. Alright, we'll let that resolve. Did not hit an Emrakul. We're very likely to hit one off of Fraying Sanity though. I'm gonna bottom this. Yeah, I liked the Godzilla treatment. I thought that was fine. Alright, 2 Emrakul triggers. Do they have a surgical? They're trying to draw 3, so I guess I'm going to counter that. I don't think that this is bait. I think that they're just trying to draw into surgical. Cool. What a weird matchup. Yeah, Archive Trap also not very good against the fetchless mana base. I think that we can just snap bolt them and potentially win the game this way. Might sack my Islet too. I guess this triggers. Oh, we did it in our end step. At the beginning of each end step, enchanted player mills X, where X is the number of cards put in the graveyard from anywhere this turn. So if you do things in your end step, Fraying Sanity does not trigger. Good to know. Or it does trigger, just doesn't do anything. Maybe I should say that. Alright. It's kind of annoying that this crab is a 0-3, but seems manageable. And now it doesn't matter that much because our Snapcaster is dead. Milled over Snap, Charm, Snap. What a funny matchup. Alright, Emrakul trigger. They have a surgical, but we have a counterspell. The fact that surgical like often costs 2 life is also pretty relevant for like the burn game plan, which seems like a pretty real part of this matchup. I'm gonna bottom that. Opt and see if we find Emrakul. Alright, did not. So I think I'm gonna just dig as deep as I can this turn. So I'm gonna go let this trigger resolve. Snapcaster, Remand Snapcaster. Oh, I guess sorry. I thought I had enough mana to also snap opt, but didn't matter. Found the Emrakul anyways. Off to game 2. So last time I sideboarded in 2 Flusterstorm, 2 Boil, and I cut 3 Remand. I don't think Remand's very good against them. In fact, I think I'm just going to leave in the 4th Bolt and cut all the Remands. Gonna mulligan this one. Die, crap, die. Shouldn't have stood so close to the ocean, don't you know? Get struck by lightning. Or I might fall. Another crab may take my place. Uh-oh. Oh, thank goodness. This matchup is so weird. This is like the weirdest matchup in Modern, maybe. Maybe the weirdest matchup in Modern is the Ad Nauseam mirror, though, because of Angel's Grace. Just makes everything so strange. Alright, I'm going to Omen. I don't think I'll force the orb, although we could. If they just don't have a surgical, like they didn't have a surgical last time, they're going to deck before we do this orb, probably. In fact, we maybe even like just steal the crab and go into mill plan ourselves. Just see what happens. Yeah, I agree that you probably just can't keep a hand without surgical in this matchup. Or extra paid. Extra paid is a nightmare. The card's like really hard to beat, I bet. I guess this does mean if we want to charm, we have to do it now. I do want to hold up a counterspell as long as I can in order to stop Extirpate from doing anything. But they're passing it to me, so I guess I'll steal the crab. Or try to steal the crab. And they counter that with Mystical Dispute. Low-key hoping to not trigger Emrakul here. Cool. That way, because we just didn't have a counter spell up if they have surgical. Did they not run Cling? They play a combination of Cling to Dust, Surgical Extraction, and Extirpate. Cling is the worst one though, because there's still like 3 other Emrakuls in the deck. What do you think the best way to learn Magic is? Limited ? At one point, I would tell you Cube, which of course is limited. I think Cube is a really good way to learn Magic. I don't know if that's still my answer, I guess. But for a long time, I really was a fan of recommending people learn Magic through Cube. I think the best way to learn Magic is to play games and maybe understand what your learning style is, because everyone learns differently. Like I'm a very auditory learner, so listening to great players talk about their plays has always been what helps me the most, which of course, you know, Twitch is a great conduit for. Is this where the fight happens? They're gonna draw 3. Well, we don't have 20 cards in our graveyard. This is only a 1 draw, so we'll just let that go. But you know, like, so yeah, I'm a very auditory learner. Listening to people talk about their plays and decisions is what helps me the most. And, you know, being able to learn from your mistakes is very important in Magic the Gathering and in life. And so, you know, having sort of productive learning, they milled over Cling to Dust, productive learning, where you're not just jamming over and over, not understanding why you are or are not losing is very important. If you just play a lot of Magic and don't ever try to improve yourself, you're not going to get any better. But if you play Magic with the intent to get better, you will get better. I could buy islands. Opponent's like, I didn't need now I don't have to mill to my Mesmeric Orb. I didn't need those islands. But I'll 104.38 anyways. On the play. We've won our last 5 matches with the deck. Also nice to not have fetches against the Lean Arbiter deck. I think I'm going to bottom this Cryptic. Kind of a weird matchup. Aether Vial on Flicker Wisp to stop your Emrakul does feel like a big deal. Also, the Platinum package, which is it's our sideboard plan for creature matchups, is just not that good against specifically this creature matchup. I think I'm just gonna play this and opt this turn. And I do think that we probably need to keep the Cryptic to stop ourselves from losing to Vile Wisp. So I'll top the Cryptic Command. Thalia is of course obnoxious, but I think it's something that we can just kind of play through here. And then we can either snap opt or Omen of the Sea. And all we really, I think, want to find, or what we most want to find, is a untapped land. They have Arbiter, but no Ghost Quarter yet. They played a Plains Return, so we're not going to get Ghost Quartered. Gonna target my Omen of the Sea. So they have another Flicker Wisp in their hand. There's really no way they'd run one out while they have a Vial on 3 if they didn't. So we're gonna need to bounce that Vial with Cryptic Command. So if we find an untapped land with this opt, we should be in relatively good shape. This is a tap land, so we need to bottom. So we could steal the Vial and Vial in our Emrakul. And we do want to do that since we found another tap land. The bottom of the Snapcaster, I guess. And so we need to fade Ghost Quarter, and I guess maybe like the Archon could do something here. Skyclave Apparition, huh? Maybe we are taking too much damage. We'll see what happens. So if they don't attack with Giver, we're taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Down to 5. And then they can sack 3. Yeah, we are dead if we Emrakul, which is not usually a very good place to be. They're targeting my land. We can still Cryptic this turn. I guess there's no reason to not take this up because we only have, an Emrakuls and Snapcasters as creatures. They can't search because they have Arbiter. It's probably fine for them. Yeah, just not quite fast enough here. That's awesome, Papa. So I think the Force of Negations are, of course, very bad in this matchup. And I think that they're bad enough that we just need to find room for the Platinum package. And I'll find the room by cutting Remands. Which Remand's not even that bad on the play. Platinum Emperion isn't terrible against them, but it's also not good. There is a line between the two of being not terrible and not being good. Why not tap Bounce the Spirit, Giver of Runes? Two turns of Emrakul would have not won that game. Yeah, we just die after the first turn. We attack and then they kill us before we ever get to cast the second. I'm going to keep this. Putting back Emrakul. Bolt Snap Bolt is pretty important to the matchup, I think. Put back Emrakul, draw through the breach. Of course, wish I could cast Bolt this turn, can't. Just gonna play this tapped and pass. I guess I'm a little scared of Arbiter now. Archon of Emeria. Shit, I played the wrong land. Damn it. I don't know why I thought I could tap Reflecting Pool for red. Now I can cast Bolt this turn. Archon does stop Snap Bolt too. Can't cast Madcap next turn also because of Archon. Unless we draw, you know, basic mountain. Not dead next turn. We can cast Madcap. Not this turn, but next turn. Guess I'm going to main phase opt. Easy bottom. Yeah, I think this card's pretty good. I think it just does like just enough, you know? So we're dead to Flicker Wisp or Path. I think it's pretty unlikely that they would keep in Path, though. What do I think of this Taxes deck? I think it's, you know, playable, which is, you know, it's better than it's maybe ever been in the format, if that makes sense. Ooh, Avid Mind Sensor plus Ghost Quarter. So there needs to be a mountain in the top 4, which is not very likely. Yeah, and now we can't. Now we can't experiment. So we need to find Lightning Bolt to survive. Nope. Tough game. Tough game. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, the problem wasn't that I couldn't cast Madcap because of the Avid Mind Sensor. I couldn't cast the Madcap because Avid Mind Sensor was denying me of my mana to cast the Madcap. I see what you're saying. Seems like I misspoke. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put back Emrakul. I said a month ago that Taxes is a shit deck. Well, that was before Zendikar, right? Zendikar gave it, you know, Archon and Skyclave Apparition, and I think something else. Whoa! But it got a lot of new tools, and it's still not a deck I like very much because it's a deck that, you know, you always have to curve out really well for Taxes to, like, really do anything. And it is also a deck that requires your curve out to line up well against your opponent's draw, which doesn't always happen, which is like why I've always been critical of it. But is way, way better than it was a month ago when I was really disparaging the deck. Yeah, Maul of the Skyclaves too. Do I think Blue-Red Gift Storm is at least tier 2 in Modern? Yes, I do. I think that if you are a master of Blue-Red Gift Storm, you probably have at least a decent win percentage with it. And they put a card on the top, so they are going to be flipping here, I'm assuming. Let me just main phase Omen, see if we find a bolt. We did not, but we did find through the breach. I think I need to bottom the temple, though. It being a tap land is not ideal. What do we need in Modern D and Taxes versus Legacy? It's got to be close. Wasteland and Rishad Port are the big ones. the good cards. Well, that is both a blue card and a land, but it's a tap land. But we can maybe tap their team with Cryptic and then force a counterspell and draw a land. And oh, this has got to be like Tribal Flames Delver. Basic Force is really throwing me off, though. You know, one of their cards is Path. Possibly just let that resolve. I don't think so. Land. Untap land. Untap land. Wild and Cattle. Opponent's on some spice. Force of Negation, Wild Nakatl, Delver. Definitely a fan of the stream. Serum Visions too. Basic Forest. This is the weirdest card that we've seen, I think. Yeah, we'll keep the Islet. I guess I don't know. It's like if this resolves, we win. If it doesn't, we lose, because the Islet deals us a damage. This deck is a glimpse into an alternate future. I guess so, yeah. Deflecting Palm main deck. No, but that is a Lightning Helix. It's a Lightning Helix. I didn't make the button. No. I keep meaning to make a button where Randy Bueller says it's a Lightning Helix. Oh my god. We're at 3. We're dead to land bolts. We know one of their cards is Path. They at least don't have the land part of the equation that is land bolts. The 2-card combo, land Lightning Bolt. So they're dead to a Lightning Bolt or an Emrakul. Emrakul is Lightning Bolt or Emrakul. I guess they could have Force. Yeah, they showed us Force. I should have cast the Opt. Damn it. Fuck. I was thinking that they were just dead, but they were not just dead. The land also needs to be not a fetch land. It has to be like, you know, basic mountain to kill us immediately. And they know they're dead to the Snapcaster too. Basic mountain is probably a pretty tall order for them. Is Landbolt Splinter Twin? Yes. Again, a Splinter Twin is any 2 cards that work slightly well together. It's a Splinter Twin combo. Let's bring in these. I'm gonna bring in like 1 Boil, I think. I cut the Remands, the Forces. I think Flusterstorm is probably fine. I don't think I want Aether Gust. Maybe Gust is okay. Yeah, this is the strength of playing an unknown quantity, like our opponent's deck, is that I just have no idea what to do. I think we can keep a Spirebluff Canal. Nah, I'm going to bottom it. No! Oh, no. Yikes. That's one of the funnier mistakes I've ever made. It'd be really funny to just win the game anyways. Our opponent revealed a Spell Snare. Maybe I was just supposed to play this tapped, because I'm not playing Omen this turn, but I might opt plus Flusterstorm. Yeah, how can I blame this on chat? Is it because chat didn't tell me in time? Or did chat just assume I would not do what I did. I think I'd keep the land. They showed a spell snare, so they have to have like Force of Negation or Mystical Dispute. Well, I mean, I appreciate you coming to my defense, but I think part of this should have been memorized. Bring in the Emperion. Sputo, 6 months in a row. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate you. And next turn we can block the Nacatl, or try to at least. No, this one was on me, guys. This one was definitely on me. They put 2 cards on top. And they bolt the Delver. I kind of want to wait until we have 6 mana to go for Through the Breach plus Flusterstorm. You know, one of their cards is Spell Snare. So I'm going to try to get them to cast the Spell Snare by casting Snap. And they did not, which means they have to be holding up like a Mystical Dispute or a Flusterstorm or a Spell Pierce. So I'll keep a land to give us the option to go Through the Breach Emrakul. Plus Flusterstorm. Hey Shane, how's it going? Yeah, I'm gonna pass here. I think we can afford to pass. We're not dead on board even if they kill the Snapcaster, so they have to have a way to grow Tarmogoyf, a way to kill Snapcaster, and a counterspell for my Flusterstorm to kill us here. And I really want to go off with Flusterstorm up next turn to protect the combo. Monday indeed, Shane. Monday indeed. This weekend was like one of the fastest weekends of my life. It's actually kind of bad if they just play another permanent. Damn it. Bottom. I don't think we're... So we go to 1 off the Tarmogoyf? Gonna be close. They didn't have Force. Maybe we should have gone for it last turn. Reptar, 8 months in a row. Hope you're having a good day today. If we sack Omen to Scry, we're dead. It makes the Tarmogoyf a 5 power creature, so I don't think that's worth it. Oh no, it doesn't because the Emrakul shuffles. Okay, my thought process was it makes the Goyf bigger, but the Emrakul shuffles. So yes, you're right. Reptar, 8 months in a row. I think I said that. I did. So if we sack Omen to Scry, we lose the out of Through the Breach off the top, but just being able to find Cryptic or Snapcaster or Bolt is just so nice here. I mean, I guess Snapcaster just like, you know, buys a turn. So let's go Omen into Snapcaster here. Scry before draw for Bolt. Yes. Bolt, Snapcaster, or Cryptic. So now we can see Through the Breach, Cryptic. And now Through the Breach isn't out off of the next Omen of the Sea. Ding, 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 ding. Easy, play this game perfectly. We sideboarded in Platinum Emperion. Don't let anybody tell you different. So funny. We never just never drew Madcap. Keep this hand. Yeah, the play was definitely for chat to not say anything. So if I drew Madcap, I'd cast it. Okay, so we're playing against Amulet. Sadly, we don't have untapped red on turn 1. If I ever do a dono list, it's going to be whatever opponent was running. It's funny. I love this Twinless Twin deck. Do you think it's a tier deck for now? Um, it is not tier by my or most people's definition of tier, because I think, in my opinion, tier really defines is the quantity of the quantity of a deck being played, how much it's being played, and it's not being played very much right now. So I would not view it as being a very high tier deck, because again, in my opinion, tier only really refers to how much a deck is being played. So, no cavern, please. Thank you. No Pact of Negation. Cool. No nothing. But to answer your question, what you were actually asking, yes, I think this deck is good. Yes, I think this deck is good. I guess that's just what you were asking. And I, just like every Magic player ever, is more interested in semantics than actually productive conversation. I think we can top both here. Still going to cast Opt to give myself the out to draw through the breach, but Cryptic I think is good enough to keep, and we of course also want land number 5 for through the breach. Yeah, maybe tier 5 is just like a brand new brew that nobody's playing. Ooh, Turn Timber Symbiosis cast. I think it's the first time I've ever seen this card actually cast. Sadly, I had to counter it. Wrong half of the combo. Gonna hold up Snap Cryptic, and I think that if they don't give me any targets, I'll bounce my Omen of the Sea with Cryptic and draw a card. That's cool. Guto. It's very cool. GG's. Do I think this deck has a combination of cards that will allow you to win significantly more than half your modern matches against yeah. Yeah, you can say that. Alright, I'll keep Cryptic. It's worth keeping it here. Got plenty of time to find through the breach, I think. And so I've had a lot of people ask me for if I think that Deliberate could replace Omen of the Sea, because you can Snapcast it back. And I think the answer is no. I hope that we've showcased how valuable being able to sack the Scry really is in this deck. I think it's really, really valuable. And sometimes you bounce it with Cryptic Command, although that happens less often. Should have cast Opt before sacking Omen. I think that I usually like sacking Omen first. I'm not sure if I can necessarily articulate why. That should be able to. I'm gonna get my opponent down to under 15. You usually want to make the decision that requires you to make more choices last. But I also want to make sure I'm drawing a card I want with Opt at the same time. How do I feel about Sudden Shock in this meta? I don't think it's good. I don't know why it would be good. There's a lot of big Scourges and Shadows and stuff. Still no through the breach. There we go. We found 2. Block442, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Hope that you're having a good day today, my friend. Love to see new subscribers. Definitely could not definitely not do the stream without subscribers. Keeping me afloat. The best way to support the channel. Blah, 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 blah. Opponent is sacking permanents here, so they're acting like they're not dead. But the life total has been reduced to -3, which is less than 0, which means we go to the next game. So I've been playing 2 boils against Titan. I still like this game plan. Cutting 4 lightning bolts. I think I usually trim 1 Force of Negation. An Omen of the Seek, maybe for like mostly mana curve considerations. Do I ever end of turn? Yes, all the time in blue matchups, you end of turn through the breach to either have Force of Negation up to protect the combo or to pressure your opponent's counter spells. All the time, all the time. You feel like Omen first is going to waste the op scry often? I think that I can get behind that, yeah. Sand's going to be good if Remand's going to be good. And Remand is often good against Titan, although can sometimes be a little slow on the draw. Aether Gust is a very happy inclusion to the hand. I would like to start remanding and trying to hit land drops, so hopefully they cast a Dryad this turn. A human monk, not a Dryad. What a disaster for us. What actually will be a disaster, though, is if we miss our land. We did not miss our land, thank goodness. Gonna use another remand here. Interesting draw. Land? What is this song? It's like, just recognize it, but don't know the name. I don't know how to pronounce that either. Alright, I'm gonna just, I think, counter this with Archmage's Charm. They could have a stubborn deny, or not, guttural response there, but we have Force of Negation. Land off the top. I'll take a time walk. Everything is fine. We've looked into it and everything is fine. Well, I'm going to counter this. So weird for them to not have Cavern. Just so used to Cavern of Souls being in play. What a great draw. What a great top card. Temple is so good in this deck. I just love this deck's mana base. It was really fun to build. Just kind of love everything about this deck. TBH. They put the prime time on top. The 7 o'clock, if Kanye West was a Titan player, he'd say the 7 o'clock. Alright, pick your board up, opponent, and put it into your graveyard. It's very funny, Chico. I don't have a witty comeback, but it's good subversion of the genre. It's always asked. I have a pretty poor memory in general, which is why I'm very mediocre at Among Us, and I have a pretty hard time remembering, you know, a game ago. Alright, we're 3-1. We 4-1'd our last league. This deck has always felt like a 4-1 machine, or maybe just everything I play is a 4-1 machine. Athena, do you want to come in here? She was on the couch earlier this morning. She's usually where she is. Athena! She's probably asleep. I'll go check on her. She wasn't on the couch, but she was on the bed, and then she wagged her tail and she rolled over and asked for a belly rub, and then said she didn't want to come in here. Ooh, really interesting matchup. A lot of times you just cast through the breach through a Blood Moon. It's always a good time. Opponent kept a 1-land Arbor Elf hand. Or maybe they just F6 through their turn. They kind of skipped through really quick. I'm going to play this so we can cast Charm. Hey, what deck would I play in LGS that is heavy tribal, Merfolk, Goblins, Burn, Prowess? I think the Jeskai deck I've been playing is pretty good against tribal decks in general. Well, I guess not Goblins. I am 1-0 against Goblins with the deck, but I think my opponent played pretty poorly the one time I faced them. I guess we can just let Rin and 6 resolve. It's going to get annihilated if they play it again. I guess they're just now dying. If they play Blood Moon, I'm kind of into just letting it resolve and then casting through the breach as a flex. Alright, so I'm going to cut the... No, I'm actually going to look at my old sideboard guide for this matchup. I can't remember what my plan was, but I think it's probably going to be pretty similar. There are sideboard guides available in the Discord for subscribers. I didn't check Discord all weekend, and I have like a bunch of messages I need to get back to. There we go. All right, against Ponza, bring in the Platinum Emperions. Don't leave them in the sideboard. Pretty interesting. Cutting Archmage's Charm. I feel like every time I see this, I just like instantly remember that I like that plan, and I forget about it every time. Kind of interesting. Let me like reevaluate, but this was the plan. Cut three charms, trim on Cryptic, Bolt, Opt, and go down 3 Omen. I do feel like you don't have a lot of time to cast Omen in this matchup. It is weird that my past self wants to play so many remands, but I guess like all that really matters is like Blood Moon and Pillage, which this card is good against. Is the Platinum package good against Pillage? This question gets asked every time, but yeah, I think so. I don't think Madcap Experiment has to be 4 mana win the game for it to be good. They have 3 pillages usually, and those pillages are pretty taxed, where they're usually aggressively targeting your lands with those. You have Force of Negation to sometimes protect your Platinum Emperion as well, and if they don't have exactly pillage, the card is really, really good. Let's keep this and put back the Islet since it's awkward with the Emperion. Yeah, we are breaching today, Fran. It's also a card that you can cast through Blood Moon, which I think has value, and I think I'm going to keep the Through the Breach for a similar reason here, with the turn 1 Arbor Elf being over there. I'm playing 61 cards. Oh, I don't know what I did wrong, but something, I guess. It's very intentional, of course. Karn is very scary. Thank goodness we drew another Remand. So if I draw an Emrakul, I'm definitely just going to hold up Snap, Breach. I think I can just do this, though. Yeah, especially now that I drew one. Kind of scared of drawing the other. And if they just replay Karn, their Karn is just going to die to the Emperion. Okay, maybe through the Breach Platinum Emperion. Just hard cast it in a couple of turns. Might through the Breach next turn, the Emperion. If they like play Karn and don't leave their Arbor Elf available to block. Yikes. Well, Emrakul is still a good draw, I guess. Good thing I said that. I don't think I was drawing it unless I did. What are you talking about, Fran? I'm just winning the game next turn. What do you mean sad life? Easy life. Always had it.